Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And indeed, as a Bears fan, it does feel like a diplomatic mission coming up here to Packers country. But if there's one thing that two NFL partisans can put aside their differences about is how do we stand up for American workers? How do we stand up for American companies like Stoughton Trailers? And how do we combat economic aggression from the Chinese Communist Party? And I want to echo my chairman's sentiments about Bob. Thank you so much for hosting us today. And thank you to all of you for participating. And thank you for your leadership, Mr. Chairman, in putting this together. Look, one of the biggest challenges that we have is not the Lions and the Vikings. It's the Chinese Communist Party. Think about it this way. A little more than 20 years ago, the U.S. normalized trade relations with the PRC, the People's Republic of China. It's almost like bringing an expansion team into the NFL. Now, when you bring a new team into the league, there's an expectation that the team will play by the same rules. They'll have 11 players on the field, line up behind the line of scrimmage, and follow the orders of the referee. But the problem is the CCP never intended to follow the rules. And they've created an environment in which they regularly, unfairly have an advantage over their competitors. Why do we know this? Because they told us they would do this. Just 2 years ago, Long Yong-tu, the chief negotiator for the PRC's accession into the World Trade Organization, said in an interview that, quote, "When we promised to adopt a market economy, we made it absolutely clear that it would be a socialist market economy." What does that mean? A socialist market economy means it's a place where the CCP and the Chinese government regularly interfere in the economy to favor Chinese companies and Chinese products. It means they steal intellectual property. It means they manipulate their currency. It means they dump their goods below the cost of making them. And unfortunately, it also means that we have to stand up to them. We don't let football teams on the field with 15 players. We don't let them have 6 downs instead of 4. And we don't let them decide which penalties they can and won't follow. Since we've left the CCP on the playing field, our teams have felt the impact. According to a report from the 2020 Economic Policy Institute study, my district, the 8th Congressional District in Illinois, has had more than 15,000 jobs displaced because of unfair practices by the CCP. That is the most of any congressional district anywhere in the state of Illinois. And that's another reason why I'm proud to be here today, standing up to the CCP. Each of those people in my district and in yours who lost a job, have a rent or a mortgage to pay, they have a kitchen table to put food on, they might have kids they need to provide for, and it's for them we have to make this situation right. First, we have to make this right by enforcing the rules that we all are supposed to abide by. Second, we make it right by investing in our own team, namely American companies and workers, because we know American working men and women and companies can outcompete anyone if they're on a level playing field. Finally, we can make this situation right by building on the progress we've made in the last couple of years in Congress, including by passing the CHIPS and Science Act and the bipartisan infrastructure law, among others. I know we can because the stakes are too high, even higher than the Bears versus Packers. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses and working alongside the chairman and the rest of our committee to address these challenges and delivering for our American companies and our American working people. Thank you, Mr. Chair.